Hello and welcome. My name is Lady Calamere. I do hope you're doing great. Welcome to my channel. I am doing my 172nd presentation and it will be on Olokun. So, Olokun. Who is this mighty, powerful Orisha? Well, I guess it's time to ruffle people's feathers. Olokun is not Yamaya. Yamaya is not Olokun. Olokun has authority over all the other water orishas, be they orishas of lakes and the rivers or dealing with the sea or ocean. Olokun has authority. Olokun. Let's break down the name. Olo means ruler or owner. Ruler as well as owner. Okun means ocean. So Olokun. And in Ifa there is in Yoruba lots of composite words that come together to make one word. Olokun. Male, female. Which tradition, which lay, which religion are you talking about? To some, most of the Patakis, okay, let's not say to some. Okay, in the Patakis, I know it's spelled Patakis, but it's pronounced Pataki. Not all of them, but a lot of them show Olokun as female. However, Olokun, in some religions, it's the way some people practice, is male. And others, androgynous, and even others, hermaphrodite. Yes. So androgynous, it's kind of like not too male, not too female. But, oh my god, there goes my cat screaming. I'm doing an insert eye roll here. All the time. Never fails. And I just fed him, so I'm not buying his shit. He just had 2 bowls of food. So anyways, Olokun, back to what I was saying, is a ruler of all the oceans. And now, in modern practice, in some Ilays, they would say the upper part of the ocean where the light gets to, or the superficial part of the seas and ocean is Yamaya's domain, whereas the bottom of the ocean where the light does not get to is Olokun's domain. However, Olokun still is the ruler of the ocean. And here is a statue of him. I got a mini one. Olokun. Now, Olokun manifests himself sometimes as a merman, as a mermaid, as a man, as a woman, sometimes just so changeable or so ancient that it's hard to tell, just like water. I mean, this is taught in chemistry and biology, that if you take water and put it in a container, it will take the shape of its container. It can take a shape of a triangle, a circle, a semicircle, whatever have you. Olokun is very fluid like that. Now, maybe this is going to piss people off. Well, too bad. But there are people who feel that they are gender fluid, or they're transgender, or they're going through the change from male to female, female to male, who feel they have an affinity because of that with Olokun. Now, this is not about political. If you're LGBT, LGBTQ, you have a friend in me, okay? And if I lose friends for saying that and I piss people off or viewers, well, too bad. So sad. Don't let the door hit you on your ass on the way out. And I'm not saying you have to be one of the LGBTQ or LGBTQIA. It's just, let people be who they are. They're not hurting anyone. They're not forcing it on anyone. Leave people alone. Let them be them and you be you, okay? So, off my little soapbox. But back to it. And there's a reason why I bring this up, is that not everyone who's initiated, not all priests and priestesses do this, but there are some in the African diaspora religion that will literally worship Olokun for the first half of the year as either male or female, and then the other half. So let's say first part of the year for the 6 months, right? We'll worship Olokun as female, and the next 6 months as male. So here we see the fluid of the water taking on different forms. Now Olokun can do that, and he can teach us to be able to shift our mind, to be able when we need to blend and take, to be able to reshape ourselves to however we need it, to be able to take on different roles. So, but this is why Olokun is so mysterious, and it gets more and more mysterious. We know more about the surface of our moon than we do about the surface of our oceans. Did you know that? We are finding animals, new animals to us, new discoveries that we never knew exist, or animals that are in the ocean that we thought was extinct. Like, hey, didn't you die off millions of years ago? And we find this animal like maybe 10 years ago or 20 years ago. And it's like, holy shit, did this die off in the dinosaur age? Did you die off with the dinosaurs? Like, what the fuck are you doing here? It's like total mystery. Another thing that works with the Olokun, and I say to be able to, take different forms, is Olokun's sacred fish is the mudfish. What the hell is a mudfish? Well, mudfish can walk on land as well as swim in the water and bury itself in the mud. And mudfish, yeah. So here we see Olokun's power be able to go on land and in the water. Oh, and it gets even more mysterious. Did you know we found out that there's more water under the earth? 400 miles beneath the earth, there's 3 times amount of water under the earth than there is on the earth. 3 times as much. And we found it in ringwoodite rock that's holding this. And this is, like I said, the part that doesn't see light. And you remember that I'm going to probably get to the story about how Olokun was chained by Obatala to the bottom of the ocean for fear of Olokun's wrath of taking back the land and consuming the earth all in water once again. Oh, Olokun, the Orishas don't want to piss them off, and neither do people, because we're talking major, major, major devastation. And yes, Olokun can get, he could be really placid, calm, chill too. Holy shitballs, look at that tsunami the size of the Empire State Building coming at you. Seriously. Olokun is very respected and feared. You could be pulled out into the ocean by a rip current. And you're just like up to your knees in the ocean. Not even, and all of a sudden you're pulled out. And if you do get pulled out, do not try to fight against it. Do not swim out to the ocean. Do not swim back. Try to swim back to the shore. You will die. Swim sideways to the sides. So instead of going out or in, swim this way. So if the ocean's going out that way, don't come this way. Don't come this way. Swim that way. And start screaming like a motherfucker for help. Olokun not only deals with ocean, but also all bodies of water, fresh and salt water. So, Olokun, Yamaya is always female, always a mother, but Olokun's not always female. As we can see, different, not Yamaya. Olokun's day, the sacred days are December 31st to January 6th. Many celebrate Saturday as Olokun's day. Olokun, and some people say Olokun, but it should be Olokun. The owner of the ocean. Okay, so things that I want to talk about. In Lukumi, Cuban Santeria, it's very rare for someone to be crowned Olokun. It's just really not done. And there are several reasons. One of the reasons is that they say crowning you would be like crushing you under the ocean. We can't get to the bottom of the oceans. Vehicles will be crushed. Okay? Too much pressure. So there's so much pressure. It's not like you can just dive and go out of your ship and be on the bottom of the ocean and say, look, Mom, I'm taking pictures for you. I'm at the bottom, very bottom of the ocean. No. So, however, and I said Lukumi, there's Isheshe, ISC, but it's pronounced Isheshe, where it's done more. But if you're crowned in Isheshe, like the Santeria, the Ifa, Yoruba religion, you will not, most likely will not be recognized as the Santero of Olokun. You can receive Olokun in Lukumi now, but you just don't make asiento. You don't get crowned in Lukumi. There's differences in Isheshe. Look it up. Isheshe is more, how can I say, African traditional. And if you're a woman, okay, women, listen up. In Lukumi, you cannot become a babalao. You can only reach a certain height as a santera. And so some ranks of santero that goes above the santera, and then you have babalao, and there are different ranks of babalao. But in Isheshe, you become Iyan Ifa, which means Iyan means dealing with mother of Ifa. Ifa means mystery, the unknown, the occult, the mysteries. Something that is mysterious. However, if you do go on that path and you do become a Yani Fa, don't think you're gonna go to Cuba and to the Lukumi and say, hey, I'm a Babalao. Yeah, you're a Santera in their eyes. I'm just telling you. There are things that are done differently in Ishishe as there were in Lukumi. Like in Lukumi, the obi is used as we use the coconut for the reading. In Ishishe, the kola nut is read. It's like the 4 kola nuts instead of the 4 pieces of a coconut. Ifun, the chalk. Remember, okay, Cascaria is used in Santeria, Lukumi, and Ishishe Santeria is Ifun. Okay. Also, like some of the prayers and chants are done differently. Some in Ishishe they make use of jinn, which was brought to them by the British. Before white men came to Africa, they didn't have jinn. But in Cuba, they use rum, and even the Santeria that's brought here. So the Santeria that spread throughout the world is Lukumi. And I would know if you are a priest or priestess of Lukumi, or if you are like a Babalao, or if I see yellow and green, I know that's Lukumi. If I see green and brown, I know that's Isheshe. So if I see a Babalao going around with green and brown, I know that's Isheshe. Green and yellow is Lukumi. So there are some differences. There is a schism, and sometimes there are debates or animosity sometimes. But sometimes they get along and whatnot. So, Olokun has some of the similar offerings that Yemaya has. As far as giving fish, some people in some houses ilays, which means house. Ilay means house. It is an affront, a sacrilege to give fish to Olokun. And some say yes, it's okay. So if you are not sure, ask your elders. If you don't have any elders and you're unsure about giving fish, that's okay. Give Swedish fish, the candies. Yemiya loves that, and so does Olokun. But let me tell you, any offering you put into the ocean, take it out of the wrapper. Don't throw the cardboard or wrappers into the ocean. You're polluting the ocean. You're disrespecting the Orisha. And on top of that, you're causing damage to the ecological systems, and you can harm the animals there. So how are you benefiting Olokun, and how are you really benefiting yourself in the world? By throwing plastic, cardboard, bottles, and shit like that into the ocean. I wouldn't throw bottles into the ocean. Anything okay, I know some people do, but I don't like polluting the ocean. Plastic is not biodegradable, by the way. It just builds up in the garbage mountains, like what's been happening, that they've been seen from satellites of what some countries are doing. Literal islands of garbage. Tell me, how does that benefit anyone? So other things, okay, off my rant. Just like Yemaya, if you give something into the ocean and it's pushed back and you find it on shore, means it wasn't accepted. If it takes it out, it was accepted. So now Olokun likes pork. Pigs were sacrificed. But if you don't have a santero, or priestess to do this for you, well, you can offer ham, ham slices, pork rinds. Yamaya and Olokun both like it. So you can feed both of them. And they do get along. They do very well. Those are like peas and carrots, Yamaya and Olokun. Well, they get along like peas and carrots. And bubblegum fans? No? Okay. Um, Olokun has a very big sweet tooth. He loves sweets. The sugary, the better. So think of chocolate, white chocolate, um, cakes, pies, molasses. I got Mr. Joker sitting on me. Do you hear this purr? Gosh, you're getting so heavy. Cakes, pies, even elegant stuff. Like Olokun is like he's royalty. Okay, think of when you. Okay, I know some people can only afford Hershey. Like, if you get Hershey's Kisses, please take them out of the foil before throwing it into the ocean. Please. Okay, if you don't want to spend the time to do that, then get, a Hershey bar and take it out of the wrapper. But just think of Ferrero Rochers, Godiva. And if you don't have an ocean, you can throw it into a lake or a river. If you don't have that, that's fine. You put it on an altar. Not everyone lives near a lake or a river or an ocean or the sea. Other things that Olokun likes, ducks and fowl were sacrificed to him, rams. So just think of this. You can always get, chicken from KFC and give it to him. I kid you not. You can go to a grocery store and have a pre-cooked chicken and give it to him. And just know that the animals will eat that. The animals will eat that. So they'll, sharks too. They'll eat that. So you're feeding big fish too. Even the little fish eat the little breading. Oh, Olokun likes coconut. So, I tell people, if, to call Ilegua and give them a little piece of something. So if you're going to have a coconut, you can always break it open, pour some coconut water on Ilegua's head and refresh him. And then give to Olokun. So you break it open, and then you can pour molasses on the coconut. Olokun likes fruit and everything that's grown from the earth, especially he does like coconuts, but especially melons. And out of the melons, his favorite is watermelon, just like Yamaya. So think of watermelon candies. Think of watermelon. You can get it already cut up for you. Or you can offer a whole melon. Now, if you get caught throwing shit into the sea, in some places you can get fined for littering. So just be careful. But you can always say that you are doing this as a religious thing, but just be careful, Be cool about it. Be discreet. One of the things that he is a night-dwelling deity. He likes the dark. And I'll get into that in a minute. I just want to get into more of the offerings. So, coconuts. You can give them different. If you're like me, I like giving variety. Give them yellow watermelon, pink watermelon. Give them green coconuts, brown coconuts, coconut water, juices, especially the sweeter the better. So you can think of watermelon juice, papaya juice, breads. Baked, you give them some, especially the sweet breads and the honey breads, honey cakes, honey. He loves that. Seashells and cowrie shells. Those are some ideas to give him. He loves brown sugar. He loves sugar, 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 sugar. Sugar, 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 sugar. I mean, just think of sugar cereal, sugary cereals, Frosted Flakes and stuff, and Raisin Bran. Sugar, 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 sugar. Dried fruit, fresh fruits. You can make him desserts. And think of the pork products. Think of bacon. Think of ham. Think like roast pork. Think of something like that, like pork products. So he is a night-dwelling deity. It says that his eyes are very sensitive to the light, that even when doing rituals, sometimes candles are not utilized. And if you, the most candles are used are 9, but it's usually like the 1 or 2. So, like in Lukumi, if you have 2 candles, start with the Orishas. Start with lighting the candles from right to left, from right to left, from right to left. Okay? Got it? Good. Colors. Blues and whites and all different shades of blues, but also sometimes red, along with red coral, because he loves red coral. Those are his stones. So let's talk about some stones. Red coral. Now, a lot of people feel that he deals a lot with lapis lazuli, especially denim lapis, where it's blue and white. And if you want to know more about lapis lazuli, look at my channel. And especially about cascarilla, I have a presentation on lapis lazuli. I have a presentation on cascarilla. Also, ringwoodite, definitely. Some people feel he goes well with ocean jasper, azurite, malachite, so be careful with handling raw azurite and raw azurite malachite. So just be careful with handling it. His metal is lead. Again, if it's pure lead, I would not recommend handling it without gloves and a mask. Seriously, it's toxic. Oh, Olokun loves gold as well. Oh my God, loves gold. Cowrie shells. And all shells he loves. Did you know that cowrie shells back in Africa in ancient times was used as currency? Yep. And you can also use for divination. So look that up. Now, another thing is pearls. Pearls are also his stone. Freshwater pearls and sea pearls. Don't think I forgot about that. Mother of pearl is also baloney, coral, especially red coral. Now, Olokun is very stately. Is a king, is a ruler, and very, very wealthy. Very wealthy. It is said that the owner of the ocean is more wealthier than the owner of the land. Oh, would you stop it? Joker, Olokun is extremely powerful and is becoming more and more and more prevalent. More and more now brought up and studied and becoming more and more well known. More and more people are asking questions. More and more people are coming to Olokun. Olokun's planetary power is Neptune. Astrological power is Pisces. He is a night-dwelling deity, for where he lives there is no sunlight. He lives on the bottom of the ocean, and even said to live sit on a golden throne in a palace, a wealthy palace. Also, Olokun wears masks. He's even, sometimes prayers are addressed as him wearing masks, and sometimes he's showing, literally, Olokun is holding in one hand a mask and another a snake. Here we have him holding a trident. Olokun can be used for those who are seeking political power or moving up the echelons of power. Even in Nigeria, they pray to Olokun. Olokun for your job, Olokun for wealth and money and prosperity. And we're not talking about just physical wealth, but spiritual wealth. Olokun, the bottom of the ocean, the mysterious, the deep, the unknown, the hidden. Also in your mind. So let's look at it this way. Let's say Yemaya and Olokun. Yemaya, top of the ocean, Olokun, the bottom. That's how it's usually seen. But even though Olokun is all ocean, let's look at the mind. Yemaya, the conscious mind, the mind that we know. You know, that shows up every day. But then there's a deep mind, the subconscious or the unconscious. The unconscious and subconscious would be Olokun's territory. Things that were deep, covered up. Olokun. Things that have been forgotten. Olokun. Deep past memories from this life and past lives. Olokun. And lives that we lived on the other side. Like, where were we at on the other side? What was it like? You know, so we look at that of not just looking at our past lives, but what it was like on the other side is Olokun. Olokun's thing is almost like he's very hypnotic, and it's also dealing with hypnosis, deep meditation, and the astral realms, and a deep, deep, deep. Mirrors are said to also represent water, the element of water. So it wouldn't be wrong to give Olokun a mirror. An Olokun, the black mirror, especially the black mirror. Yes, you heard me. And that's the mirror you use for scrying. Some people use the silver, the regular mirror, but black mirrors were traditionally used even in things like ceremonial magic and Goetia. So black mirrors would be a good mirror for him. So if you were to give two mirrors, give silver mirror to Yamaya and give a black mirror to Olokun. Just saying. I mean, if you can't get a black mirror, that's fine. But you can easily make it. You could get glass and spray painted black on the other side, or put black velvet. So spray paint makes it more evenly than just taking paint and slothing it on with a brush. Spray paint would be better. So Olokun represents deep mysteries, the deep undercover. Why? It's not so much as the trauma, but okay, so why am I repeating these things? Why maybe are you afraid of a spider? It's not the phobia itself that represents Olokun, but why? The reason behind the phobia. Maybe you uncover that when your mother or your father tortured you and drew you in a cellar and then wiped spider webs. My mom was scared of the spiders, and I found out why, because we were talking, and she would say to her mom, my grandma, and she was very bitchy. She would lock my mother in the cellar, and before she would lock her, she would hit her with a stick, then take that stick, the pointer, it was a pointer, and wipe spider webs all over it and had spiders and put it on her. So ever since then she had a phobia of spiders. It could be just a non-venomous spider and she'd flip out. She would flip out just looking at pictures of spiders. But yeah, so the trauma could be maybe you were bitten by a snake, and that could be a reason why you have trauma. And this could be something you saw, something that scared you in a movie, or something that always terrified you, of why you're afraid of the dark, or why do you have the unrealistic fears. And phobia is dealing with an unrealistic fear that's very real to you, that's very terrifying to you. Like being afraid of the number 13, being afraid to people who are afraid of the moon, people are afraid at nighttime, people are afraid of clowns. So it's that fear of why. Is it something from the past life? Is it something that traumatized you? So again, uncovering it is part of Olokun work. Olokun, the deep mind. He deals with meditation and the occult. He's powerful with the occult. And of course his element is water, duh. Because I already gave you the astrological sign and planetary powers. His element is water. He deals with meditation, the mind. He deals with emotions. Olokun deals with the power of emotions, be it depression, anger, happiness, and different mental illnesses, such as depression. Dealing with emotion. When we talk about mental illness, we're talking about emotional too. Bipolar. the being happy 1 minute, and then you could go on this huge mania and all of a sudden just hit depression. Dysthymia, which is another form of depression. So there are different types of depression. It could be just being sadness. It could be seasonal depression. There's some people that live in Alaska, and during the times when they just don't have any sunlight, this is when they have a type of depression. That's why they have the UV lights to help them. Some people get depressed due to the weather. That it literally affects them. Having stormy weathers make them depressed. So there's also a type of depression when women are menstruating. Postpartum depression. All Olokun's domain. Olokun is not static, always changing. In some state, the ocean itself, when you look at some lakes can be static. So let me correct myself there. But the ocean, ebb and flow, he deals also the planetary powers he also deals with is the moon. Neptune and the moon. So let me correct myself there. So he goes with the flow of the moon. And the times when so if you have lights in your home, put him, when you're worshiping him, you could put him in the shade or in the shadows. He likes that. He likes the dark. Scrying is his power. Now, you don't just need a mirror to scry. You can use crystals. You can use water. Also, I scry with my eyes closed. I can have a mirror there and crystals, and all of a sudden I'll just close my eyes and scry my eyelids. Yes, it can be done. You can scry a TV with the TV off. Just look in the screen. Same thing with your computer. This is all Olokun. Olokun deals with. He also deals with divination, magic, the occult, the mysteries. Anything that's mysterious is Olokun. Also his domains, the unknown, the hidden. Olokun he protects those who he considers his children, and he can be used to punish the offender. And his wrath is terrible. He can spiritually strangle someone, crush someone. Imagine the whole ocean being poured on someone at once. The crushing effects of that. So yes, he can be used for cursing, and he does deal with the left-hand side. And we're not always saying evil. When I say the left-hand side, he deals with the darkness, and we're not always saying evil, but yes, he can. So my left-hand pathers, my left-hand path friends, hello, love you. Guess what? You can work with Olokun. So I've known Satanists. I've had Satanist friends that work with the Loas and even Orishas. And I'm not saying everyone is, they're cursing and stuff. Yeah, they do curse. They also bless. Okay, they're not wild savages like they are made out to be in movies and cinema, and looking to ruin everyone's day. They're ordinary people like you and me. They're magical though. But yeah, definitely can find a friend in Olokun. Hello, Olokun also deals with skin issues. In fact, that's one of the first things he's healed. So, in one of the stories, Patakis, he has a son, and he told, and that did like the skin markings on the knife, and he was told not to do it, and he goes and does it, right? Well, he comes with a skin infection. So, a divination was done with Orunmila, and he was told to use salt water to cleanse it. Now, if you have a skin infection, I'm not going to just say go use seawater, salt water. Definitely go to the doctor. Okay? But that's one of the stories. So, when you think about eczemas and rashes, yeah, Olokun is a healer. How? No, 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 no. Here. He's got his. Look. There you go. Don't you dare bite me. And Loki, he tries to bite me when he wants to play fetch right in my feet. Those teeth hurt. So, Olokun also lives within us in our fluid, or water. Humans are made of water, but as we get older, we have less and less water. So, just think about that. Now, a darker side of Olokun, when I said, don't you dare do this. And if you do it, I hope you go to jail. I hope you get busted, and I hope you go to prison. In ancient Africa, the Orisha who received the most human sacrifices, and every day received a sacrifice. Every single day a human sacrifice was done and given to Olokun. Of course, that's been abolished. It's been abolished, and it was also considered, by the Orishas as being inhumane. But Olokun gladly accepted it. So, but yeah, every day. So, Olokun should be appeased. They believe when Olokun is not appeased and is angry, well, we got tsunamis. We got fucking hurricanes. So work with Oya. Ow! No! You little shit. Don't bite me. That hurts. So, yeah. Hurricanes. What do you think the hurricanes come or fueled by? Water. Once a hurricane goes over land, it will get weaker and weaker until it hits water again. So, yeah. Water spouts. The tornadoes over water. Tidal waves that sink giant ships. So, yeah. So it's better to appease the master of the ocean. An ounce of prevention is always better than a pound of cure. Oh, let's talk about why was Olokun chained. There are several stories. So let's talk the first one. In the Bataki, and one of the Batakis, is that the earth was covered in water. And there was only one piece of land that stood out. And Obatala was sent to create life. And in order to do that, life on our land, not just on water, I swear, mister, you don't bite me. No. Loki? So anyways, I'm not your chew toy. Come on. Go amuse yourself. Here. So, Obatala came down from the heavens, and he came down on his silver chain and onto this land. And he was given by Olodumare, so you have like, or sometimes said by Olokun, given sacred soil, and he comes down with a hen and a chameleon and a cat. So the chief in white, Obatala, comes down, and he throws this magical dirt, in which it's magic, it's blessed, and it starts spreading. So more and more land and continents are created. And he takes the hen, and the hen is erratic, and starts scattering it all over, making sure it's scattered real good, because this is magic earth. Now the chameleon is not a sacred animal in Santeria, don't you? But you're not gonna. You know what? I'm gonna tell this story first before I go out and get a ball and get it for you, okay? And the chameleon, he likes to make sure that everything is settled, that it's not gonna sink or shift. And the cat, of course, was Obatala's companion on Earth. Well, the reefs were there, and Olokun started battering it, and he's getting angry. He, she, it. So some people say she, he, it. So she got angry, it got angry, he got angry, he, she got angry, he got angry, and was just going to destroy the whole land and reclaim it. This was mine. I am the ruler of this planet. It's mine. So in order for land and land-dwelling creatures and humans to live, because that's what was the divine plan, is to make all these wonderful things, like dinosaurs and stuff first, of course. Dinosaurs were here way before us. A chain had to be made. And a chain, this beautiful chain, let's say by Ogun, some say it was Batala's chain, but he held it up and said, "Hey, Olokun, look at this pretty chain." And Olokun was mesmerized and then was chained to the bottom of the ocean. Now, let me go get a ball for this little friggin'. Oh, you got bear. Stop! Be right back. Come here. Little pest. That's hurt. Here, go play with it. Another story was Olokun is very, very giving. And always gave and gave and gave without expectation. And people were so happy. They were like, "Thank you, Olokun." And they made sacrifices, they made offerings, they did prayers. And one day, they stopped and they really didn't appreciate it. They just took and took and took and took. And Olokun eventually got angry and said, "Look, I give and give and give, and all they do is take, take, take." And Olokun was on a warpath. So this Orisha took the waves of water, skyscraper size, and was sending it. And the people in the mountains saw these waves coming, and they were pleading with the Orishas. The Orishas were like, "Oh my God." So, and a reading was done. Mila said, a chain needs to be made. Go to Ogun and have Ogun make the strongest chain that you can make, but also that would entice this Orisha. So Obatala went to Ogun, and Ogun, of course, respects Obatala, made this chain, and Obatala stood between the people and this huge, humongous, Godzilla-sized wave that's coming. And enticed Olokun and then chained her to the bottom of the ocean. Now, some of the story was a little bit different in the Patakis, depending on your tradition, your house, is that Yemaya had a talk with Olokun and convinced him to stop. But either way, those are some of the stories. Now, Olokun is said also to have made make the Atlantic Ocean. Is one story is that Olokun as female was married to Oduduwa, and Oduduwa was a mighty emperor and had several wives, and she was jealous. She was angry and created through her jealousy the Atlantic Ocean. And there's some stories that you talk about the divorce between Oduduwa and Olokun, about how hurt she was. There's other stories about that Olokun was married, or at least a lover of Yemaya, as when he's male, he's married to Yemaya. There's some Patakis that said no, Olokun has no children, she didn't give birth to children or did not father any children and was never married. So again, you have to look, rely on your house, on your lineage or your religion to know, with Olokun. Again. So, Olokun's, one of the famous daughters, most prominent, is Ajay. Not to confuse with the Orisha Aja. Ajay and Aja, Aja deals with more of the forest and the herbs. She's an Orisha. As Ajay is the wealth of the bottom of the ocean. Aje. So those two are different. Ajay is his daughter, and she is wealth. A lot of people say, no, so Shuna deals with wealth. Of course, this is not Highlander. But however, Ajay is always wealthy, always rich, is always gold and cowrie shells and the sunken treasures of ships. I mean, you think about that, that's also Olokun, but Ajay is the Orisha, deals with the Orisha of wealth. Okay, Olokun's children, those who have Olokun, like as an Orisha. Now, what happens is some people who want to be crowned, who have Olokun as a Orisha, will end up sometimes, and I can't always say every time, but be crowned Yemaya. But despite that, Olokun's children, there are one or two things. They're usually very meticulous, very OCD of how they keep their home. Could be to the point of OCD. And, a place for everything in its place, and pretty clean. To once in a while, you might get a fucking slob. But, however, they like to present themselves. They like to have, sometimes like to be the best dressed person in the room. You'll notice that they also like to eat. They love, we're not just talking about going to Burger King. We're talking about they like to go to Martin's Steakhouse, or to Cheesecake Factory, or P.F. Chang's, or to 4 and 5 star restaurants like somewhere like the Creole House in New Orleans, Andrea's restaurants, places like that. They're refined, but they're also very emotional. Some of them have depression, deal with depression and trauma, and bipolar. They're like the ocean. Blue skies, clear sailing, to holy shit, hurricanes and tidal waves and undertows and whirlpools. water vortex, the whirlpool, which they're could be very dangerous, by the way. That's another thing that Olokun does. They're happen to be giving, and they need to set limits, okay? Because givers constantly give and takers constantly take. And sometimes they just, well, oh, I don't mind. But eventually it could be very taxing. So if you feel you've always giving and you feel like you're the child of Olokun, you need to set limits so that you don't feel taxed out. Notice with the people with Olokun, they have eye issues, whether wearing glasses or contact lenses, or very sensitive to light. That can also be fibromyalgia. It could also be migraines. But you'll notice they're very sensitive to light, that these people can end up wearing sunglasses. Like it going out even during the day, even cloudy days, they may wear sunglasses. It could be to that point. They don't like sunlight coming in on them, especially when they're sleeping. They don't like, sometimes they like to keep their home more darker than other people. Also, they like the darker colors. They'll wear darker clothes. They like wearing blues. They feel happier with darker purples, indigos, blues, even blacks. They like that. Sometimes if they go to different shows, some people who have Olokun around them don't like the bright lights. So yeah, you'll see a lot of people especially with Olokun, may end up having transition glasses, and also even wearing sunglasses over their eyeglasses. So sometimes they could be very serious, very strict. They're also very emotional. Like they can end up crying a lot or being happy. Like they run on their emotions, and that's something they need to rein in, to also use intellect. And I'm not saying they're stupid, nope, but I'm saying they can be very emotional. So Olokun's children have a thing for success. They could be very like an Ogun, very workaholic, but also driven to success, not just working for the sake of working, but working to move up the ladder of success. They have, not everyone, but they love money, and they have money. Not saying everyone Olokun is rich. I'm just saying they know how to make money. They know how to work it. They know business. They know how to hustle. They have good work ethics. Okay, not sitting around all day playing video games and stuffing food in their face and watching TV. No, they want to go out there and work. Or they want to go out there and make money, even if it's not working, even if it's investing. Okay, they want to be the CEO. They're the ones that, if they become a politician, they want to get up to senator, even president or prime minister. Those are the ones that want to go far. They want to go forth and succeed. They like the good things in life, the finer things in life. Like Olokun, they would go for silks or something that is considered expensive. Maybe a Maserati, maybe a Lamborghini, like a big home. They're not like, oh, that's just too rich for me. I'll just be happy in this 1-bedroom apartment. Hell no. They want a mansion. You give them a Victorian mansion. Just one mansion? Wait a minute, I want two mansions. I want three mansions. I want a whole big plot of land, and they'll want like, oh, the best in life. They want everything. If they can afford it, they'll get the best phone. They'll get the state of the art computer. Oh, the next best phone comes out. Let me go get that. So, and they'll be, and those are people that also be happy to buy you the best things in life, and also help you. And this is where they can be taken advantage of. And you know how the story of Olokun, how she was taken advantage of, and people weren't given back, and it does wear on you. It does tax on you. It does make you angry when you're being taken advantage of. So Olokun loves to look good, love to present themselves with jewelry. So just think, Olokun likes jewelry. It's another offering you can give Olokun. Don't think she would not like rings and necklaces and earrings and jewels and, oh yeah. So Olokun is more of a night dwelling deity. Powerful during the day, but night dwelling deity. Like Hecate, which is pronounced Agati. Still people pay attention during the day, but she's a night dwelling deity. So, sort of like that. So, some more local people are night owls. is Olokun children sometimes they have haters, and as you climb the road to success and become more and more have more and more money, people will start hating you. And they have detractors. They have their detractors. I mean, they could have been born in a ghetto and the worst possible situation, and all of a sudden live in a mansion. Now people hate them because they live in a mansion. They could have just worked their way up. So, they could have come from a family of coal miners and all of a sudden be a Wall Street tycoon. Or, come from a moderate, middle income family and all of a sudden now live in this, the Hamptons in New York. Or have now their zip code is 901. Oh, 90210, Beverly Hills. Hey, guys, knock it off. So, yeah. There will be people just jealous. If they have spiritual success, there will be people that will be jealous and angry. If people seem, sometimes in the spiritual community, unfortunately, when you have someone that knows a lot, some people, instead of wanting to learn from them, they become jealous and become a detractor and get angry. So you'll see that. So we're talking about Olokun is, so the children are like that. So those are some of the things. And I'm not saying if you have all those things, you may be a child of Olokun. Maybe not. Get a reading, have it done. Okay? See who you're the child of. And so there's other things I wanted to say, but gosh, 1 hour, 9 minutes. I'm probably losing people now. But anyways, Olokun represents spiritual wealth, spiritual power, physical power, deals with love. So love spells, yes, love spells, especially wanting to be uh, also using for dominating spells, control, like dominating love spells too. So the darker side of love. But yes, there love spells, money spells, healing, positions of power, wealth, all abundance, and when not just abundance of money, abundance of food, abundance of other things that make you wealthy. It could be physical money, it could be cryptocurrency, it could be jewelry and gold and jewels. So remember, wealth is not just about, just physical money. So sacred sites, of course, the sea, marshes, mangroves and swamps, mangrove swamps and marshes where the sea has just come and started to swallow up. Even rivers and lakes are sacred. So images that you can put on altar, you can use pirate in images. Seriously, pirate ships, pirates. You can use that for this Orisha. There's my Cthulhu skull. My other half skull, I should say. I got that as a gift for him. Images of mermaid, anything to deal with the ocean, sharks. Oh, if you do, speaking of sharks, if you do go and give offerings to the ocean, just do it. Also, be safe because, especially at night, sea predators like sharks come around. So just be careful, especially when you're giving the offerings like he prefers at night. Okay, just please be careful. Okay, there, and like in some parts of Florida, the more south you get, the more sharks you have, and the sharks that are there are bull sharks, and they have high amounts of testosterone, and they can be very vicious. So, just be careful. So when you get down to Miami and down to the Keys, just know the warmer it is, the sharks are there. If you're in the swamps of Louisiana and Florida, just do be careful if you're dropping anything off. Gators. Be careful of the alligators. It's not a joke. Okay, you can get hurt, you can die. So just be on the lookout. Another thing that you can do for Olokun is clean up the oceans. Clean up the just now when you clean up, just be careful of certain things like glass and hypodermic needles. If you don't want to get stuck by them, because you can get sick. Okay, so word to the wise. So if you see some like full whole bottles and trash, you could pick it up as an offering to do Olokun, to also give to charities that are going to be protecting our ocean, cleaning our ocean, and to protect sharks. Charities that are going to be protecting sharks and whales and dolphins. So that's another thing you can do for Olokun. And now, as for me, I don't have a Patreon account. I'm not getting money for this. I'm not getting 1 cent for doing this video from YouTube or anyone else. So think about giving to charity that's gonna, support our oceans. Maybe reuse that bottle, wash it out and reuse it. if you can. Recycle your stuff. I know you can only recycle it for so much until it can't be recycled anymore. Uh, Maybe you can use that bottle as a decoration, or use that bottle to collect money or something, or put your change in and then take it down to, to the bank, or use, like the, Talenti ice cream. That's what I do. I have, I love ice cream. And so, extra good for my stomach. But what I do is I rinse out the containers and I put my crystals in when I buy in bulk, and then I label it, and then I have containers. And this way, less plastic are out in the ocean and or being thrown out, and more containers for me, and I don't have to pay extra for containers because I get lots and lots and lots of crystals. So those are some of the things. Also, if you do like this video, please send protection to me. And you can also, if you want to pay me, you can pay me by sending good luck, good mojo, good spirits my way to protect me and all those that live in my home. I have a kind of a cuckoo stalker I'm not the main prey of this person. This predator is actually after a friend, but people who stuck up for the friend have found themselves being stalked and mocked and threatened on Facebook. So I actually had to change my name twice on Facebook because of this Looney Tune. But anyways, so yes, send good luck, good vibes my way. Continue to send healing to Shadow and healing to Loki Lofison. He's doing wonderful. As you know, a while back, he nearly died from a UTI and from crystals and bleeding out of his... I took him to the vet, of course. So, yeah, continue to send good vibes my way. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you didn't, give me a thumbs down. I would love to know what you think of Olokun. There's so much to learn, and there's so much to his children. The children are as deep and mysterious as Olokun. They're very, they got a lot going on, But Olokun also has a lot of mysteries that are still being uncovered, but there's so much to learn about this Orisha. I mean, he's just as deep and mysterious as the ocean. So if you like my video, please subscribe. That's another thing you can do to pay me. Subscribe so that I know I'm doing a good job. And the more you like this video, the more you subscribe, the more the algorithm will get this video and all my other videos to people for free across the world. And also share my video with your friends and family and on Facebook or whatever social media. I want to thank you for watching this video, and because of the subscriptions, I'll keep on making the video when people subscribe, because I know this is going out and people are watching this video. So thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Continue to believe in yourself. And as always, blessed be.